present here. Today, Kendriya Vidyalaya Pamur and Union Bank of India Trivandrum have joined hands together to be a part of the Vigilance Awareness Week, which is observed from 27th October to 2nd November 2020. It is taken up to encourage all the stakeholders to collectively participate in the fight against corruption and to raise public awareness regarding the existence, cause, and the threat by corruption. Before we start today's program, let us the blessings from the Almighty. I request Radha, music teacher, to start the prayer. Madam, please.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणावर दण्डमण्डित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभुतिर्भे देवे सदा वन्दिता सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष जाड्यापहा Thank you, ma'am.
Charge Srimati Maya to welcome the chief guest and all the others to this program. Madam, please.
Good morning to you all. Most respected Madam Srikala, Sir Jarin Sir, teachers and dear friends. Corruption is a social evil and it is widespread. It has an adverse effect on the development of the nation. Corruption is very much important so as to ensure prosperity of the nation and quality of life to its citizens. Vigilance Awareness Week 2020 is being celebrated from 27th October to 2nd November 2020. This is observed every year by the Central Vigilance Commission during this week, in which the birthday of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, that is 31st October, falls. The theme of this year's Vigilance Awareness Week is Vigilant India, Prosperous India, that is Satark Bharat, Samriddh Bharat. The purpose of observing Vigilance Week is to promote transparency, probity, and integrity in public life. To encourage the fight against corruption, KV Pangod also joined hands with Central Vigilance Commission and Union Bank of India. During this week, students will have to participate in various programs conducted by this group. Today, on this auspicious occasion, we have among us Madam Srikala LK, who recently joined as Deputy General Manager and the Regional Head of Union Bank of India. She carries a legacy of academic proficiency. While going through her profile, I could see that she was a rank holder of LLM and later joined Union Bank of India. And she is the first women regional head of Trivandrum. KVS association with Union Bank of India is well known to all of us. In terms of students' fees, salary of staff, everything, we rely on Union Bank. So the entire KV Pangod family extend a warm welcome to Madam Srikala on this occasion of Vigilance Awareness Week. Along with Madam Srikala, we have Mr. Jaran M. Paul, who is the Chief Manager Vigilance UBI. His association with KVS is very old. My personal association with him started at KV Pattam when I was a teacher there. then it continued at KV Akulam when I was an in-charge principal there, and it is still going on as an in-charge principal of Pangod. So on behalf of the entire KV Pangod family and on my personal behalf, I welcome you, sir, to this program.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Now, may I invite Srigala, madam, Regional Head UBI, to administer the integrity pledge. Madam, please.
I'll start with the pledge. I believe
Yes,
that
proceed.
corruption has been
I
one
believe
of
that
corruption has been one of the major
corruption has been one of the major
obstacles to economic,
obstacles to economic,
political,
political,
and social progress of our country.
and social progress of our country.
I believe that
I believe that
all stakeholders,
all stakeholders,
such as government,
such as government,
citizens,
citizens,
and private sector
and private sector,
need to work together
and need to work together
to eradicate corruption.
to eradicate corruption.
I realize that
I realize that
every citizen
every citizen
should be vigilant
should be vigilant
and commit to
and commit to
highest standards of
high standards of
honesty and integrity at all times,
honesty and integrity
at all
at all
times,
times,
and support the fight against corruption.
and support the fight against corruption.
I therefore pledge
I therefore pledge
to follow probity
to follow probity
and rule of law
and rule of law
in all walks of life,
in all walks of life,
to neither take
to neither take
nor offer bribe,
nor offer bribe,
to perform all tasks
or task
in an honest
in an honest
and transparent manner,
and transparent manner,
to act in public
manner.
interest,
to act in public interest,
to lead by example, exhibiting integrity,
to lead by example, exhibiting
in personal
integrity
behavior.
in personal behavior.
Incident of corruption,
Any report of incident of corruption
to the appropriate agency.
to the appropriate agency.
Thank you. Jai Hind. So, good morning, my dear friends, respected Maya Madam, and other Mr. Jarin, who is my vigilance officer. Then Sudha Pillai, who was volunteering this program, and Master Varanya Bhattacharya, who has given a marvelous speech. See, at the age of 11, when a student is studying in 11th standard, in the 11th standard itself, he is having such a brilliant knowledge. So congratulations, Mr. Varanya. Keep it up. You will have a bright future. Please go ahead with all your capabilities and abilities, and please be more vigilant in all your studies and in your career. And may God bless you. Thank you, Maya Madam, for inviting me for this program. And thanks to Mr. Jarin that he has organized it well. See, this vigilance awareness week. I don't know, Maya Madam, how many students are there in this program who are attending now? Can anybody tell me?
10, madam.
10. Okay, so the thing is that Vigilance Awareness Week, though we are maintaining or following this Vigilance Awareness Week, this is particularly meant for the students whose career are ahead with, or those who study well, whose career is ahead with, and those who want to go up in their ladder, as well as it is not only the career, it is in the life as a whole. So my dear students, my dear children, please ensure that whichever field you work, wherever you go, in your house, in your office, in your school, wherever you work, please show your integrity as high. When the integrity is good, everybody will respect you. The respect you get is mainly through integrity. If you are honest, if your integrity is good, if everybody says yes, he is the best boy or she's the best girl, then the things will follow you, because you don't have to go and grab anything. Everything will follow you. So my dear children, please ensure that you are the future. You are the future for the world. So once you are very good in every activities, everything will follow you. So my dear friends, I'll say a small story in this regard. See, now today, actually, I am come to my village. So when Mr. Jaran has told me today this inauguration is scheduled and the teachers, they are all waiting for me. But my program is already pre-planned that I had to forcefully come to my village. So the village atmosphere is different from the city atmosphere. So anyway, today morning, so many people are there around me. I sent away everybody, and I said, let me complete this, and then I will join you. So the thing is that why I am said about the village, the heart of the country is in village. Everything starts from village. Then only it goes to the metro. So once the in village, the people are mixed with the mud, sand. They are always majority of the people walk on barefoot. See, in the city, in the metro and the city, we can't see anybody walking with barefoot. Here, majority of the people walk with barefoot. Majority of the people can do lot of work. They can go for rubber tapping. They can go for cutting wood. So many things are there. So village is the place where the heart of the country lies. And why I started about village, my dear children, there was a boy named Sam in one of the village in America. So this Sam was born in a poor family. He was having another 3 sisters with him and his mother. Sam was just 6 years old, and what happened is one day mother has given him, and his father is no more. So mother has given him 8 coins and said, you go and buy some food for us. So what Mr. Sam has done, he took a cloth bag, because those days there was no, particularly in villages, there are no plastic bags or other bags. They had to carry the cloth bag. He took a cloth bag and he took this 8 coins in his pocket and he's left for the market. When he went to the market, in the marketplace, there are a lot of things. Everything is there. What is not there in the world? Because in the market only, in the village, everything comes. Food varieties, fruits, toys, clothes, everything. So first he gave the shopkeeper who was keeping loaf of bread and all. So he went to the shopkeeper and gave this coin and said, I need a loaf of bread. So the shopkeeper said, this loaf of bread costs 8 coins. That 8 coins, then he thought, with this loaf, if this is loaf of bread, even my mother cannot have her enough food. Her hungry will not be over with that food. So what he thought, then what I will do, what I will take it for home. In the meantime, he noticed one older man was standing near to him. And very old man with a thick blanket over him, thick red blanket over him. And that man was holding a stick also. With that stick only, the man could stand properly. And he noticed one coin fell down from his pocket. And when he noticed, it was a gold coin. So what he thought, okay, the man has not seen that. The boy then finally thought, okay, he picked the coin. Then he picked the coin and he was just looking around. What shall I do? Shall I give it back to this man or shall I purchase something? But for a while he was looking at all the utensils, all items that is spread over there. The meat merchant, the person who is selling meat, the person who is selling clothes, and some woolen clothes. One person was asking this boy, do you need this woolen clothes? Then he thought about his mother. I can get whatever I want with this gold coin. Woolen clothes, meat, fish, bread, everything I can buy. But again he had a thought, my mother is shivering. Shall I buy this buy woolen cloth with this? No, again he took a pause. No, I will not buy. Finally, he thought, okay, anyway, let everybody starve, but I should do justice. If I take this gold coin, it is not great, it is not a good thing from my part. So what happened? He went behind this older man and said, "Uncle, your coin has fell down. You please take this back." Then the older man said, "Okay, good. You have brought it to me. Good. Thank you so much, my dear son." And then after some time, then he asked him where you are from, where you are coming and all. The boy said, "I have come to buy some food for my family." Okay, then the older man said, "Okay, do one thing. Can you do me a favor? Since I'm too old, I cannot walk. With this stick only I am able to walk. And I have to go to the next palace where I have to give this letter to the king. So can you do me a favor? Can you give this letter to the king? Can you go to the palace and give this letter to the king?" So what he has done, then he thought, "Oh, okay, but I had to cross the forest before I reached the palace." So this boy started walking. When he's older man, he crossed the forest. When he was crossing the forest, there are so many attractions are over there. Some fountains, some attractions have come over him. And said, "Arey boy, Sam, where you are going?" "No, I am going to the palace." "Then what you are carrying? What you are taking?" "No, I am taking the letter." "Why don't you open the letter and see? There may be some treasure hidden in it. There may be some way to some graph to show the treasure somewhere it is kept. Otherwise, there will be some information about some valuable medicine." So what this boy said, "No, if I open it, the word I have given to that older man particularly said, you should not open this letter." So he said, "No, that uncle has said not to open this letter." With this letter, he dragged away all these disturbances, and then he went to the palace. He took a lot of pain to drag away all these disturbances. So then finally reached the palace, and the king welcomed him like anything. By seeing him only, king said, "Oh, welcome Sam, you young Sam, you have come. So you have brought something for me, some letter for me." Like that, with an excitement, the king has greeted him. So this boy was thinking, how come this king knows my name? How come he knows about me? I am bringing letter. Then he said, "Yes, yes, my lord. The uncle has given me one letter to hand it over to you. So this is a letter which I brought for you. You please take it." And I had to go back home because my mother and my sisters are waiting for me. So then the king said, "My dear son, I was waiting for an honest boy like you, because I have grown too old and I don't have a legal heir, and I am declaring you as my legal heir. So now with one gold coin, Sam has won the entire kingdom." So this is the integrity, this is the honesty which the children should show. My dear children, please see that with your integrity, the nation, see, there are a lot of obstacles now going on. Please don't faded with that obstacles. Obstacles come and go. Please discard all obstacles. Go ahead with integrity, or the sincerity only will prevail. And who all are sincere, God is there to support them, to help them. So this is my small advice, small request to all children. Please show your integrity and sincerity wherever you go. Just like for Sam, what he received for his gold coin, for his 8 annas, for his 8 coins which we had, he got in back, he received in back in their country. So this is the moral of the thing. So if your integrity is good, you will receive every good things in the world. So this is my just a simple advice to all of you.
Next, we have a speech by Master Varanya Bhattacharya of class 11C. Varanya, I hope you are there. Please switch on the mic.
Good morning, ma'am.
Varanya? Yeah, please.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Continue.
Am I completely audible?
Yes. Continue.
In the era of scams, corruptions, breaches, attacks, hacking and cracking, vigilance in every sector and organization is a necessity. Good morning to respected teachers and guests present here in this video conference. I am Varanya Bhattacharya of class 11C. Cyber breaches like the World of Hell and Red October are examples of crisis in modern times that define the need of vigilance. Potential threats surround a country like India, and it always needs to be very vigilant in every sector it is involved in. Our armed forces approach towards the protection of the boundaries of our great country shows the vigilant approach against any threat. The policies which have come to existence to protect our banks and corporate companies from scamsters and frauds prove the vigilant approach of our policymakers. Yes Bank is the most recent example. Indian government and its people need to become more and more vigilant to transform our country into a developed nation. Corruption. Corruption is a major kickback to our country's development. It brings the hard-earned development and upliftment of our country to its knees. India is slowly evolving by adding countermeasures the enemy and the corrupt of our country couldn't think of. India is adding robust and secure firmware, servers across the country. Use of technology such as biometrics, which means the use of our thumbprints, our eyes, our blood, etc., and satellite encrypted systems. We are adding the layer of vigilance. We are adding more and more equipments around us, like the CCTV cameras, that will make sure to catch the corrupt of our country and also make sure to scare those who think of such malpractices. For India to be a secure country, it needs to be self-reliant. As we know, apps like TikTok and PUBG Mobile were some major sources of data theft. But as soon as we go Atmanirbhar, these thefts by international corporates will stop. One of the most recent examples is the SAI, which is an Indian alternative to WhatsApp. This project is being currently evaluated by the Indian Army and soon will be in the hands of Public of India. This will be a massive boost to data protection in our country. India as a country is evolving. If we look in a broader perspective of vigilance, India has many proactive law enforcement organizations, including the Central Vigilance Commission, which has been in existence since 1964 and was given more powers in 2003. General citizens are also becoming more and more enlightened when it comes to public and social vigilance. We have to understand the needs of the country. Frequent cyber, diplomatic, and military attacks on our country will continue and never stop. We have to be prepared for any anomaly. India is coming up as a major economical and technological center. If we look at the recent achievements in our space, defense, science, and economical sectors, we have to protect our research and development from the enemies of the country. Our nation is also coming up as a major power producing country in recent years. And cyber attacks to our nuclear power plants around the country is a common thing, and it won't stop. So we have to be vigilant and be prepared about it. There have been sources that countries like China, Pakistan, North Korea have been trying to steal data and technology from our nuclear power plants, including one in Kodamkulam. History is the greatest example of what we can lose if we are not vigilant. Alexander arrived and we were not vigilant. Fortunately, his army was homesick. The Mughals arrived, we were not vigilant. The British arrived, and again, we were not vigilant. The GDP contribution of India to the world dropped from 37% to meager 1%. I had a thought which I would like to share with everyone, that if we bring the whole country under a surveillance, then it would stop corruption and crime in a great extent. Think, if we use satellite imaging on public areas and we add all India web servers, then it would be a massive boost to decrease crime rates in public areas and in the cyber world exponentially. Today it seems impossible, but if we think about it, it is not impossible for the future India to achieve. As I said, India is evolving and developing, and it will continue to be developing in the future. And I think it will become the central power in Asia and the world someday. We just have to become more and more vigilant, corruption free, and loyal to our great nation. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Aranya. That was an excellent speech and really very much impressed about the points you have put forward. That was very good. I would just like to show a clap on the screen. Now we have our class 7, 8th B students, Kumari Maithili, Kumari Anita, Kumari Faiza and Master Piyush to spread the message on the topic Vigilant India, Prosperous India. I hope you are ready to.
Hello everyone, my name is Maithili Gopal K and I study in 8th B KV Pangur. Today, in connection with Vigilance Awareness Week, me and my friends of 8th B will be presenting certain programs. First of all, let's begin with a speech by Amrita MR.
Vigilance Awareness Week. What do you mean by Vigilance Awareness Week? Vigilance Awareness Week is also known as VAW, is being celebrated every year and coincides with the birthday of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, known to be a man of high integrity. The purpose of Vigilance Awareness Week is to generate awareness in the public at large about in the ill effects of corruption. When was Vigilance Awareness Week started? 1999 declares that the week beginning from 31st October every year should be observed as a Vigilance Awareness Week. The significance of 31st October is that it is the birthday of the Bismarck of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. What is the role of vigilance? The role of vigilance is to protect the organization from the internal dangers which are more serious than external threats. Vigilance is any organization with an integral function like any other function of management such as finance, operation, marketing, material and contracts, etc. Thank you.
That was a very informative speech. Now, let's move on to a poem by Piyush Bharati.
सतर्क और जागरूक रहने की बारी। भ्रष्टाचार की फैली महामारी है, सतर्क और जागरूक रहने की बारी है। कब होगा देश भ्रष्टाचार से मुक्त, चलो सब मिलकर हो जाएं एकजुट। रिश्वतखोरी में लिप्त दुनिया सारी, सतर्क और जागरूक रहने की बारी। दीन ईमान छोड़कर बैठे दफ्तर में जो लोग रिश्वत हैं लेते, अमीरी के सामने फिर से गरीबी हारी है, सतर्क और जागरूक रहने की बारी है। भ्रष्टाचारियों को जेल के अंदर पहुंचाएंगे, सबको हम कड़ी सजा दिलाएंगे। समृद्ध बनने की आशा हमारी है, सतर्क और जागरूक रहने की बारी है। धन्यवाद।
That was a great recitation. Finally, let's move on to a poem presented by Faiza Naushad.
My name is Faiza Naushad of class 8B, and today I am going to present a poem written by myself in this occasion of Vigilance Awareness Week 2020 India. Through the poem, I want to convey the problems regarding vigilance and awareness. The poem concentrates on topics like national integration, corruption-free nation, truthness of life, and many other ideas for a better nation. The title of the poem is The Fountainhead. Between the space of our entrance and exit, between the interval of our attainment and loss, O Lord, the sun's eternal glow, the season-long revolving, and the countless riches of mountains and rivers. In vain, for we stand on a desolate earth, we are inhabitants of 20th century, agitating in its darkness. We have machines and institutions, but no civilization. We have complex emotions, but no outlet. We have many sounds, but no truthness. We came from some consigns, but are concealed from each other. And we have already seen that which bewilders us will make us tired, that which tires us will molest us for life, and that which makes us crazy is the accumulated mental energy. To be exploited by the half-truth, that is our belief. For the years, we have moved without a center because we have many centers, and a numerous center instantly collide or devour. Life for the struggle of life, which we prepare to live but never leave it. The richest of thousands of years have been made to wither in the seed, and we are to insist. Thank you.
That was indeed a great poem. I hope everyone liked this program presented by us. Thank you.
Vinay Varanya Bhattacharya and the children of 8B, Kumari Faisa, Kumari Amrita, Master Piyush, Maithili, and respected teachers and all. And the message of the day has been already delivered from the introduction till the last program. A Vigilant India, Prosperous India, based on the theme, within a short notice, the KV Pangodi is organizing such a wonderful program is really amazing. And with the message, a little story, a motivating and very the praiseworthy story in which two important thing our Madam Shrikala has highlighted in the speech, the two important behavioral limitation. This is one of the major cause for correction. Behavioral limitation. We have a certain greediness. So we are undervaluing the values in our life, and we may have in a short period of time we wanted to become very big in the universe. That is the major reason for behavioral limitation. That is also a cause of concern. And next is, Madam, in the story she has highlighted emotional vulnerabilities. I felt these 2 points by listening to the story, because the major reason for our corruption is these two. Emotionally, we may be unstable. If we want to do execute something immediately, we wanted to do. We wanted to save our valuable time. We wanted to save our precious money. We wanted to save our wealth, and also whatever comes in the offices, especially in public offices, we may land up with the associating in corruption. So normally, if you go to some public office, the officers who are sitting there may ask you some bribe, or they may ask you some private benefits. We may offer it to save our own time and to protect our wealth or whatever we are protecting for. So this is being behavioral limitation. I may point out to this, and for what is the remedy government is offering to you for this in order to overcome the corruption. Two important acts are there already. Prevention of Corruption Act, which you already know, because the government has introduced the law in the 1988 and amended in 2018. Since then also the corruption is not coming down in the country. According to the International Transparency International, the global corruption anti-corruption agency is ranking our country in the 80th rank of among 180 countries. So below the 40th rank, all the countries are considered as most corrupt. So our rank is 80th. Government is coming out with so many options. Transparency. In the last address by the Prime Minister, he highlighted two important things. One is transparency, and he was mentioning about the punishment to one simple corruption in the country is leading to so many corruptions. So he is asking each and every citizen to come forward and give the information to the concerned. Here is the concerned. That is called CVC, Chief Vigilance Commission of India, the nodal anti-corruption agency for Government of India, and for the undertakings of Government of India or the societies or organizations enacted by Parliament laws. So this is the agency where government in 2004 has issued an extraordinary gazette in which they are asking the citizen to be aware about the corruption and informed to the competent authority by Public Information Disclosure and Protection of Informers Resolution. PIDPI. It is called the PIDPI, Public Information Disclosure and Protection of Informers Resolution. In 2004, the government has resolved this and published in the ordinary gazette and asked every citizen to cooperate with government to give complaint about the corruption in the offices, public offices, undertakings, societies, or wherever you find a corruption incident. You may write directly to the CVC by using the PIDPI resolution. But the PIDPI resolution has come in 2004, the implement or the impact of this resolution is very less. The complaint received by CVC is abysmally low, and so that is the relevance of Vigilance Awareness Week. Every year, government is giving much awareness program to the citizen, especially to the students, to be aware about your rights, aware about the society where you are living, and bring the content to the competent authority like CBC for eradication of corruption and contributing best to the society. PIDPA is the tool available with every citizen. We should be aware about this. And if any corruption incident comes with your name and address, we have to give a complaint to CBC. The CBC will act upon it, and the company that's within 60 days they have to complete the process. This is a time frame also fixed for that. This will give a direction to the concerned authority. Will find and investigate and will fix the accountability or fix the loopholes available in the system to eradicate corruption or punish the corrupt people. So this is what I wanted to share in this PIDPA. We should be aware about, and we should bring to the notice of the government for eradication of the corruption. I told about our rank in the World Transparency International. We are 80th, and for the so many years, our position is almost in the same. And next, coming to the hunger index published by the International Food Policy Research Institute. Hunger index, our country's position is coming as 94 out of 107. Among 107 countries, our position in the hunger is 107. According to the Food Policy Journal, our country rural hungriness is about 52 crore. Rural Indians are not getting nutritious diet. Even though a country which achieved 100% of food security, India is a 100% food secure nation. In such a country, the hunger index, we are ranked 92nd in the 107 countries. So this is also a food for thought for the day. And this all highlight our responsibility to be more vigilant Indian to eradicate corruption and bring the country to more prosperity with each and everyone contribution. Especially the KV is doing their best to the children for molding a transparent and very with much aware about the society and giving such a civic sense to the students. It is really amazing to see a wonderful program, and I ask all of you to contribute to eradicate corruption by being more vigilant and bring the content of corruption to the competent authority and do your little bit to eradicate corruption in the country to bring India a prosperous nation. With this, I conclude and thank the opportunity given by the my ma'am as well as the organizers and especially my regional head Srigala ma'am. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jirin sir, for your valuable words. Now I invite Nanda Gopal.
I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. First, I thank Srimati Srikala ma'am, Deputy General Manager and Regional Head, Union Bank of India, Thiruvananthapuram, for the profound message given to us today. And the story was indeed an eye-opener for us, ma'am. Thank you. We promise, ma'am, that we will uphold the spirit of the pledge throughout our lives. We are grateful to Sri Jaren M. Paul, Chief Manager, Regional Vigilance Office, UBI, Thiruvananthapuram. Your points have indeed made us think. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt gratitude to Srimati Maya ma'am, Principal in charge, KV Pangod, and all other teachers and staff for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Last but not the least, I thank all my friends for their enthusiasm and zeal that has made this program a resounding success. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, Nanda Gopal. Now let us all rise for the national anthem. Haripriya, please.
अधिनायक जय भारत भारत माता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगो विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ अलशिष मागे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Jaya madam. Thank you all. Thank you.
Srikala madam, thank you. Kiran sir, thank you.